Every single taxpayer should absolutely have an account with the IRS. And if you think you're the exception and you're saying, Stephen, but what about, nope, you too. We all should have our account set up on IRS.gov. It's easy to do, it's free, there's a little bit of an identity verification process, and then you have access to the records that the IRS has on file for you. A lot of years that might not seem like it makes a difference, but when questions come up or you come across issues, it can be such a vital piece of information to have access to. And if you're thinking, Stephen, I do everything by the book, I'm good, I don't need to worry about it. I hope that's true. I would prefer never to have to worry about it either, but kind of like driving a car, if we're going down the road long enough, eventually we're probably gonna get pulled over. If we pay taxes long enough, and especially if you work with clients as a financial advisor who also happen to pay taxes, should be all of them, that just increases the chances that you will at some point be involved in someone getting an IRS letter. And the first thing I like to do when I get an IRS letter is to go check what actually happened. Because believe it or not, there are real people at the IRS too. There are real systems and software at the IRS. And just like in any other area of the world, mistakes happen. So quite often, that is our best starting point, is to say, what does the IRS really have on record? What can I do to sort through these issues? This is especially top of mind for me as I was helping a client just within the last couple of weeks who got a letter from the IRS that basically said, hey, give us all your money. Not quite that bad, but it had escalated to the point where the IRS was saying, hey, it's time for us to start putting liens on your property. We're coming for this money. And the client was confused because they weren't aware of any outstanding tax bills that they had. And so first thing we did was go pull their IRS records. Now, since I work alongside them, I have a form on file so I can pull their records for them. But any taxpayer can do this for themselves. So whether this is you for yourself or you're a financial advisor trying to help a client sort this out, we want to go out to the IRS and say, what information do you have? And in this client's case, it's a good thing we did, because what had happened was the IRS had applied payments to the wrong year. So even though they got a nasty gram saying, hey, give us all your money, when we went and looked at the IRS website, it turned out they actually had a very large credit on file that will get applied to the correct year, and then we'll get the rest refunded. But if we hadn't taken that step to go out to the IRS's website, then the client's left in a panic. We're unsure of what to do. We might be paying additional taxes that we didn't need to. So we always want to start with what is the real information? What are the facts? Go figure, the facts are important. And so a great first step that anyone can take is making sure that we have an account set up through IRS.gov. This is also where we can track if we're making estimated payments. We can see amounts that have been withheld from our paychecks. We can check what correspondence or open inquiries are out there from the IRS on our account. It's just a great source of information to know how to respond, again, when those questions come up. I'm sure you can relate to, at some point in your life, having been pulled over, or at least accept the fact that that is a possibility. It's the same way with the IRS. Almost none of the correspondence that my clients get from the IRS are actual audits. That's the scary word when they happen. But if we're doing everything right, those don't have to be scary either. The rest of the letters that come from the IRS can feel much more benign, but only if we know what steps to take. First step, getting on the IRS's website and making sure we know what's going on. So if you are the lucky recipient of an IRS love letter, don't panic. We all get them at times. We just want to make sure that we're taking an intentional approach and we're understanding the facts and circumstances before we rush into action. Happy tax planning.